So Eric, tell me how you like the neighborhood. Where'd you move from? Why'd you move? Just spill it.
So we moved to Huntsville specifically for work. So I worked in Tallahassee for 5 years. I moved to Tallahassee from Birmingham, so I'd lived in Alabama my entire life. And
Okay.
started looking at neighborhoods, areas of Huntsville, because between my wife and I, we had only been to Huntsville once in our life, and it was for to go to the Space and Rocket Center.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I was 5th grade.
Space Camp.
We started based on where we were going to live on the school system. And as you know, there's a lot of good schools in the area here, between here and Madison, but Hampton Cove area specifically is zoned, as you know, for Hampton Cove Middle and Huntsville High. So
Right.
I had Jackson starting 6th grade, Parker starting 9th grade.
Okay.
Schools were very, very important to us. So we narrowed it down to that area. Got in touch with you, luckily. Started looking at some houses, looking at some different neighborhoods.
Right. One really interesting thing about you guys that I don't really get to say that often about clients is you bought a house without ever seeing it in person.
We did, probably against your better judgment. I was coming up, as you know, for work.
Yeah, we went out a couple
few
times.
trips. Yeah,
Yep.
went out just a couple of times looking, but we were real time constrained on when we could go, and I
Right.
was 7 hours away.
Right.
You know, it's not the most perfect, ideal situation. So as we looked at houses, and I've told you this before, we had a lot of faith in what you said and thought and recommended. So, you remember, it really got down to the point where I said, hey man,
Right.
that house on Crest Ridge came up.
Right.
Go take a look at it and let me know what you think.
Yep.
And you liked it, we liked the pictures, made the offer, they took the offer, and
The rest is history. So, speaking of golf balls, you like to golf.
a little bit, yeah.
So what's your choice course here?
So when I came up, I didn't think I was going to get to play a ton of golf, and I played a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
I went and played at Valley Hill,
Yep.
I believe. Had a really good time.
Yep.
Had a good time playing at Hampton Cove, the RTJ course. So
Okay.
for anybody that golfs knows that the majority of the Robert Trent Jones courses are fantastic.
Right.
I personally settled in at the Ledges. It's a
Right.
little bit different atmosphere,
Yep.
but that's been great.
And the Ledges is on top of a mountain, hence the name, right?
Correct. It is literally on top of the mountain. It is the most beautiful golf course I've ever been to, from clubhouse to
Right.
to the holes, the views. Everything's great about it.
So, neighborhood's important, right? And something to keep in mind, people that aren't familiar with the area, you're going to hear people say Hampton Cove as if to say Hampton Cove is the entire area. Well, Hampton Cove is actually a specific subdivision, right?
Yep.
It's one subdivision amongst many. So, zip code's 35763, and again, some people just call this whole side of the mountain Hampton Cove, but the subdivision you moved into is called Highland Park.
Correct.
It's comparable to neighborhoods like Grayson Place, River Ridge, and several others. But when you moved in, obviously you hadn't spent much time in the neighborhood, but what was your experience? What was your first impression?
Well, I didn't really know what to expect, because moving from Tallahassee was good, but you know, neighbors didn't wave all the time and speak and
Sure.
walk dogs together, and we're kind of experiencing that for the first time. It's really, really cool.
Good.